Hello, friends. I'm Kris Freedain, Community Manager for the OpenSearch project, working at Amazon. And this is Carlos Rolo, Principal Engineer over at NetApp InstaCluster, and we're both OpenSearch ambassadors. Today we're going to tell you a little bit about the project so far, some major milestones, and what being in an open source software foundation has meant for the project. Our timeline really started back in 2021 when the fork happened, and we decided to keep it as an open source project under the Apache 2.0 license. September, Foundation. And then May of 2025, we had our first major release under the Software Foundation of 3.0. By middle of June, we had excess of 1 billion downloads for the project. So September 16th, 2024 was a really exciting time for us. We had been working on this project for quite some time. We had built a leadership committee to kind of test out the waters of open governance with different companies and see just what was going to happen with it. The decision was made, and we got to make the announcement that we were part of a OpenSearch Software Foundation under the Linux Foundation, really to build the long-term sustainability of the project and drive the ecosystem forward. It was a fun day in Vienna that day. We got a lot of friends come up to the booth afterwards that I kept telling one of them, I really wanted to tell you, but I couldn't until we did this announcement.
And you had the best goodies at the booth as well. So these were the founding members of the OpenSearch Foundation. As you've seen, like companies that believed into the project and wanted to be part of the foundation. This allows the foundation and the members to contribute without having barriers. It's a foundation. Everyone add their value and gives scale to the project. Right now, these are today the members. As you've seen, it's grown a bit. We have all sort of companies from all different business areas, and keeping giving scale and how good the project is growing and how much the support the project gets also from all these contributions from these companies.
So with a foundation comes open governance. The governance models continue to evolve and continue to move forward to help this project grow. For the technical governance, we've elected members of our maintainers, those who have contributed a technical impact on the program and on the project and on the roadmap. The technical advisory groups are forming of individuals that really have the interest to take those different technical areas forward. You can see we have a governing board up at the foundation level, and then a marketing committee and a technical steering committee. Underneath that technical steering committee are different tags of areas that we want to kind of get these individuals talking and moving and understanding where the market's going, where the project needs to go. And then under the marketing committee, excuse me, special interest groups, one of which is the technical, the training and certification SIG. I've also put up the different other areas that have levels of governance that we can talk about. Under the community, we have administrators and moderators on the forum and on the Slack channels. And then, of course, the maintainers of the different repositories across the GitHub organization. The maintainers and the technical steering committee kind of guide one another, and the maintainers put the code and the commits into the project. But if there's guidance that's necessary, that's when the technical steering committee would come in and kind of provide that governance going forward.
So the governing board, it's not only about the companies, so it's the real people that represent the the governing board of OpenSearch, as you see, from all different companies. And these are the people who decide the direction of the project and the foundation mostly.
And of course, the technical steering committee is comprised of individuals and companies from AWS, Slack, Salesforce, Open Source Connections, Paisler, SAP, Uber, Apple, Eliatra, ByteDance, and then some independent contributors as well. And these are really ensures a wide range of interest across the governance of the technical parts of the project. And that's really important once you're in a foundation to have this wide breadth of input to take it forward, not just a single company. You have more of the vendor neutral area. And then of course we have tags. Again, these are interested parties in different logical areas of the technical program. We have observability, search, security, and then a build tag that is for the build and the releases of the program.
So we, as you said, we operate under the Linux Foundation. There's an executive director, Bianca Lewis. Linux Foundation does provide the scale. It's a worldwide foundation. The marketing, the PR communications, events, social media support, also legal support, and that all allows a series of events from the foundation from being something in Seattle to actually be global, and that has been noticed in the project. So once we join with Linux Foundation, the awareness lift off. So we secured interviews with top media outlets. We secured interviews with top analyst firms like Gartner and GigaOM. And we got support for the OpenSearch cons, other industry events, awards, and more. So this was, we reached 1.13 million users. We did 341 pieces of media analysis and coverage, and this was just in the first year under the Linux Foundation. Also, before the foundation, let's be honest, the numbers were not shy. We already almost 290,000, 2,900 Slack workspace members. We had 120 GitHub repos, the OpenSearch cons at 1,000 plus attendees. So 8,000 followers across social media. So there's absolutely not a small ecosystem even by this time, but the foundation did give it a kick.
And then in that first year, you can see the numbers increase. The social media followers doubled. And the one thing I really like on this slide is in that first year, we grew from 120 to 140 plus repositories. What that tells me really is the belief in the vendor neutral ecosystem. Companies, contributors, project members contributed entire repositories, entire new pieces of the code to take this project forward. And that, again, speaks to the vendor neutral safety and protection that you get under a foundation. And then I love this number. We had 700 million downloads as of September when we announced the foundation. And then just within 1 year, it hit 1.4. And I know we've increased past 1.5 at this point. So in that first year, we doubled the number of downloads. So the user base continues to grow. Businesses and people that are relying on the project has grown to this wider, more global audience because of moving into a vendor-neutral foundation. A couple of interesting points that we've noticed. You can see the numbers up here in the first year of different active contributors, active organizations. And I love the fact that we're now in the top 1% of active contributors and active organizations in the entirety of the Linux Foundation. that again speaks to people believing in a vendor-neutral place to develop software and move it forward.
Also, the sentiment is growing. So what is OpenSearch has grown 180% worldwide, and the search for OpenSearch documentation grown 700%, which is massive. Specifically, OpenSearch docs also 300%. We've seen a growth on vector search. That might be due to vector search being a very hot topic right now. But we've seen also, but this is allocated to OpenSearch, so people are not only looking for vector search, they're looking specifically for vector search within OpenSearch. And as you see, the growth is actually worldwide, is no longer North America thing. But also, we got more people visiting the website, 25% year over year, and the people staying and actually navigating the website like 4%, also growing. So it means that it's an organic growth, and it's probably due to the support and the foundation work being done on promoting the technology.
So back in 2022, we had our first OpenSearch Con. That was our first global, our first owned conference, I'll say. Fairly well success. Had it in Seattle, but we started hearing more requests for in-person meets. We had people that really enjoyed finally seeing each other after the COVID lockdown of a couple years. So by the end of 2024, we had 14 user groups across the world, 400 plus RSVPs. Not bad for the first little bit of time to create a global user group program. By the end of 2025, that more than doubled. We saw an increase of 470% in RSVPs, and we ended 2025 with 31 user groups across the world. This has been a lot of fun. We've got to travel to wonderful places and see the community across the world and grow because of this foundation movement that we've done. 2026, just the other day we pulled this number, and the program has grown already to 39 user groups in 12 different countries. I'll say if you don't see your city up here and you want to start a user group, come talk to me. I'd love to hand you ownership of one. Give me a new place to visit. And it's always a lot of fun. And it really speaks to the commitment and level of all the different solution provider networks, the foundation members, and the really passionate community members that we've seen grow around the world.
So this is the OpenSearch Ambassadors. What is an OpenSearch Ambassador? The OpenSearch Ambassador is a program for recognizing not only those who contribute codes and features into the project, but people that are passionate about the technology, people that go above and beyond making the community grow, like asking Kris to create a user group and promote the technology in their own cities or locals. Spread the knowledge, help out in the community, and the goal is literally building a global network of people that you can reach wherever you are, to promote open source collaboration and get, also by conversation and connecting to other people, you do spark innovation, you do get other ideas in, even if you don't. Some people don't want to contribute directly, but do have ideas. You can reach out to the ambassadors and ask a way to get there. Not everyone has to write code to help the project. This was a project that was first introduced in 2025. 2026, we got a new batch of ambassadors, and we have the interest list going on right now. So if you want to help spread the technology, be part of this group, and bring something new into the OpenSearch projects go to the interest list and join us.
Ways to contribute and ways to get involved besides code and besides documentation. We do a lot of events, of course. As I mentioned before, we had OpenSearch Con, first one in Seattle in 2022. It's now grown to this global event. Again, because we're a foundation, because we have the backing of the Linux Foundation. We'll be in India very soon. I'll see you in Mumbai if you're going. We're also going to be in San Jose and in California this September. And believe it or not, we're already talking about where we're going to have it next year in 2027. I have a few favorite cities that I'm hopeful for, but we'll see what the foundation brings forward on that. And then there's a couple of upcoming dates. If you're in any of these cities and you want to join a user group, join us. If not, opensearch.org/user groups will give you a listing of every user group across the world and join in. And again, if you don't see your city, come reach out or go to the community repository, open an issue for a new user group. Love to host you.
We also promote, we are on OpenSearch at other events like we are here. It's not only the OpenSearch events. We are part of KubeCon, MCP Dev, the open source summits, both in North America and Europe. And so OpenSearch is a baseline technology, and it's a very relevant technology, and that's why we can be on all these places, also with the foundation support for this. Why OpenSearch is also much about the technology, right? And so a couple of features released just this year, and this shows also picked a few that show that we go all from large scale to small scale, observability integration, query insights, very low level optimizations at the SIMD FB16 vector search, and also, for example, vector prefetch for environments that are very resource constrained. So it's a technology that goes from the very small, almost embedded systems to can be deployed on very large scale as well.
And a few things that have happened because of the foundation in 2026 already. Created a long-term support program where members of the foundation, company members, can really build this long-term support of the project on a hosted environment. We began a very much needed training and certification program. Again, there was a SIG that came together, said, this is what we need to do. Let's figure out next steps. Came together quickly, worked with the Linux Foundation training and certification program, launched our own TNC. Brought together roadmap clarity, process improvements, and we're always looking to grow the foundation as well. Someone asked me, what really contributed? Why are more community members joining the foundation after this move? And really, it boils down to a vendor-neutral foundation really equals a greater belief in a perception and trust of neutrality that benefit an ecosystem, that benefit software and an open source environment, moving together, working together, and taking things together in a non-vendor locked area where you have vendor neutrality, you have better collaboration between all these businesses across the world. So scan this QR code. There's links to every site we can possibly imagine. The repositories, the websites, the events, the user groups, and everything. Love to have you join the community. Thank you.